Hi, everyone. Welcome to season 1 of Sexpert Talks, Healing and Empowerment through Sexuality, Pleasure, and Relationships. My name is Samra, and I'm joined today by Maria Hubmann. Hello, Maria.
Hello, Samra.
Maria is a sexuality, pleasure, and empowerment coach for women. And today, Maria is going to talk about how women can expand their pleasure. Ooh, such a yummy topic. So
yes,
tell us, Maria, what can we do?
Oh, so much. Like we live in this gorgeous body, which is made for pleasure, I would say. Like there is so many sensations we take in. There's so many senses we have available for us. And I would say the world is just made for us to enjoy it and take in pleasure. And you can do it all the time. There doesn't need to be a time of the week, like Saturday evening, for example, when you have your partnered or non-partnered sex date. You can have pleasure all the time, and I love it. I love it. It's just amazing. So I just adore my body. I love my body for like being so open to sensations and open to pleasure, and that it allows me to play and be curious about it, and like I find out new pleasurable things all the time, and I think this is really the key to finding and enhancing and expanding pleasure, and also orgasm, of course, to be curious about the body and be curious about the sensations and what else can be there, what sensations can arise in the body. And I think it's one big experiment, basically. And life is so diverse, and there's so many things happening. And I really encourage everybody I talk to, everybody I meet, basically I say, just experiment and be curious and stay curious. And yeah, just like me, I'm a sexuality coach and pleasure coach, and still I don't think that I've reached a pleasure level that and I'm gonna stay there because it's great. But I keep trying things out, and I keep being curious and keep expanding. It totally pays off.
It sounds beautiful, but it's what you said. It's sometimes I think in our mind we don't feel that pleasure is something. It feels like something that's one-off. You do, I don't know, you either have sex or you do some activity, have that moment of pleasure, and then that's it. It's not. It doesn't. I think for most people they don't realize it's like a resource you can tap into constantly or have access to.
Yeah, certainly. Yeah, we definitely haven't learned it that way, and I love that you mentioned it, that you call it a resource, and I really think it is a resource. I think our body is a resource, and the sensations in our body are a resource, and we can use those sensations to always come back to the present moment, to the here and now, and be and notice and be curious. And then when you do it a while, then you start noticing that the sensations are created in the body. And even if my partner touches me in a pleasurable way, the sensations still originate in my body. And it's not him or her giving me pleasure or giving me an orgasm. It's the other way around. It's my body having those experiences and creating those sensations, and my brain, my mind noticing them. And it all develops in my body. And with certain techniques, focusing techniques, so also breathing methods, I can enhance those sensations and focus them, and I can even invite more pleasure into my body, and distribute the pleasure in my body, make it even more enjoyable for me. And I think it's incredibly empowering to really know that you are the source of pleasure, and you are not dependent on somebody else to experience pleasure, because it's 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 your being, it's your natural state of being, and you can experience sensations. When you can do that, you can also experience pleasure. And that's amazing. And that's amazing. Yeah, I just love that.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I think that's such a powerful message, that we have this source of pleasure, that we don't have to depend on external sources of pleasure or that other people give us. So what, in your opinion, does it mean to live from a place of pleasure? How does that manifest in your life, in you know, how you approach life and so forth?
How this manifests in my body, in my life. So it manifests in a way that I'm very present, and I actually look out for pleasure, and I allow myself to experience pleasure. So I allow it, I look for it. I take responsibility for my pleasure. I don't outsource the responsibility. It's in my power, and therefore also in my responsibility to take care of myself. And this also means that I just lovingly take care of my body, because it's just it's a treasure. And what I also, coming back to the resource, how I also use pleasure and the sensations in my body, is that I use it as a source of wisdom. So I constantly feel into my body and notice what's going on. And I know, like, I'm sure everybody has noticed sensations when there is something you like very much or you don't like, that it feels very different in the body. So there are, of course, thoughts coming up, maybe emotions, but there is also sensations. And I really love using those somatic experiences to help me guide through my life and through my decisions. And these can be small decisions, like what do I want to eat now, but also big life-changing decisions. For example, do I want to switch my career completely and be a sex coach? I also base this on my pussy wisdom, my body wisdom, because I know that my body knows best. And it's a path, and it's a trying out to, like, how can I notice these sensations in my body? What does a yes feel like? What does a no feel like in my body? Noticing those sensations and also then trusting them. So yeah, it's step by step. You notice them. Okay, it's a yes. Do I dare to say yes to this? Like, okay, I'm gonna try this, and then let's see how this all works out. So we're coming back to the experiment, and then you start building the trust into your body, and into your pussy. And oh my God, pussy is so alive. She has so much to say. It's incredible. And it usually feels really good.
Oh, but that's amazing. But we're not really, as particularly as women, and in general, I think we are not taught to listen to our bodies, particularly not our pussies, to ask our pussies about what it is they want. And I presume for a lot of people, they have this conception that that's down there. How can a pussy know what's good for me, or so forth and so on? So how do people build this trust into their pussy, into their body?
Yes, yeah, you're absolutely right. I think as children we know, then we kind of get trained to like push it away, forget it. Maybe also like experiences shaped us and like made us not feel into what's like down the waistline, below the waistline. Um, and the good news is that everybody can relearn this and relearn noticing the sensations and trusting sensations. So I would start with a really simple exercise, which I learned as it's called body meditation. And it's so easy, so simple, and so effective. I still use it. It's one of my baseline practices that I do. And it's basically, it's much easier when you close your eyes and take a deep breath. And then just ask yourself, what sensations do I feel in my body right now? And there is no censoring and as little thinking as possible. Just noticing. The sensations can be pain or pressure or heat, a tingling sensation. And if there is thoughts or emotions, that's also okay. And just coming back to the sensations. And notice, can your body, like, do I feel any sensations in my head, in my face, my chest, my belly, arms or legs? And then try to find words and speak the sensation. For example, there is a tingling in my belly. And then check again what sensations are present in my body. And you will be surprised how many sensations there are. There are all the time. And then when you're ready, you can ask, which sensations are present in my pussy right now? And you don't need to touch her. She is alive. And she wants to talk. And she wants to be noticed and heard and listened to. And just without much thinking, have an open mind and come back. And even if you don't notice anything, it's also fine. Just notice that there is numbness in my pussy right now. And that's okay. So the first step really is taking a moment and being with the body, and being with the sensations and noticing what sensations are there. And then as the next step, you can find out, what does a yes feel like in your body? So you can think about yes, you can say yes, or think about something, some food, for example, that you really like. Notice what happens in the body, what sensations are there. Usually like an opening sensation, a relaxing sensation. It can be very individual. Just notice for yourself and give yourself a couple of minutes time without judging or without thinking that my body or my pussy should react in this way. Just be curious. And then do the same with the no. What does a no feel like in my body? And you will notice a reaction. And as always, you can thank your body. You will have experienced the yes and the no in your body and in your pussy. And then whenever you have a decision to make, I will probably start with small ones. Like, do I want a tea or orange juice? Yeah, what does pussy say? And then go for it. Go for it. Listen to her. And she will become more confident and you will become more confident. So, it's so good.
Yeah. Beautiful. Yeah, as you say, it's a simple exercise, but actually it opens up a lot of things. And for instance, and like with you, I'm still teaching myself to listen to my body, to listen to my pleasure. But I've noticed the more that I open it, the moment that I'm not in line with what my body or what my pleasure or what my pussy is telling me, it manifests for me, at least, that I start feeling sick, I start feeling unwell. And for me, those are the first signs that I'm not paying attention. So that's what I've noticed, at least. I don't know what your experience has been.
Yes, absolutely. Yes, it does feel a bit off. And sometimes I know what pussy wants and I would decide otherwise because it's the rational thing to do or so. Or I'm like, no, I cannot allow me more pleasure. Like there is already so much pleasure. Why would I take even more? Yes, yes, I'm allowed to. You're allowed to. Go for it.
There's nothing as too little pleasure, absolutely.
And there is nothing like too much pleasure. Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, that's so amazing. Yeah. So are there anything else that you would advise women in terms of how to empower themselves to live from a place of pleasure, to listen to their pussy, aside from regular kind of touching, connecting to themselves and these parts of themselves?
Yeah. When one thing that was crucial for me is what I already mentioned before, taking care of my own pleasure and taking responsibility for my own pleasure. And I find it the easiest to practice this with myself first. So I would highly recommend to set pleasure on a regular basis. And this does not need to mean a sexual pleasure and orgasming, but it can be like touching my skin very lightly or very strongly, whatever you want, and experiment. Go for it. So you will grow this muscle that you take care of yourself, and then we've heard it all before, and it's so true. Only if you know what you want, you can communicate it. And something that changed my life and my relationship with my partner a lot is asking for what I want. And really not just saying something, but taking a moment, like, what do I want right now? And speaking it out and saying, would you touch me this way? Or would you give me a foot massage? Whatever comes up in this moment. And you can say, okay, that's enough, any moment. Like you don't need to be there like for 10 minutes because he finally or she finally does what you want. Just as long as you find it pleasurable, and then you can say, stop, thank you, or actually, now I want something different. So practicing asking for what you want is crucial, in my opinion. So it's really the basics, and it builds so much safety and so much trust in yourself. It's incredible.
Yeah, very powerful. And I've just add that you can actually do that in a way that isn't confrontational or selfish, and as
Yeah.
you can do it in a very loving, caring way. Yeah.
Absolutely. I was blown away. My partner asked me, what do you want? And I usually said, well, I don't know. It's okay. But then I kept like, I said, okay, I want this. And that would be really nice. And what happened is he was super happy that he can give me pleasure and do something for me, because of course that's what we want to do. So it really strengthened our relationship, and it made it stronger, and there was even more trust, because he knew that I would ask for what I want and he wouldn't be guessing. And at the same time, he was like super happy to make me happy. So it's really a win-win situation.
Yeah. Beautiful. Oh, amazing. Wonderful. Oh, I feel all pleasure and nice just from this conversation.
I like that.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much. Is there anything else that you want to add before we sign off for this interview?
I think these were the most important things. So keep experimenting, keep being curious, take care of yourself, and your pleasure is for you.
Yeah,
it really is for you, and you are allowed to have pleasure and experience.
Beautiful. Thank you. So where can people look you up if they're interested in your coaching work and some of your programs and offerings?
Yeah. So I have a homepage, which is my name, mariahubmann.com. And you will also find me on Facebook and on Instagram with the same name, Maria Hubmann. And my offer is, my main offer is one-on-one coaching on sexuality, pleasure, empowerment. And I work with women, and it's incredible how much can change in a few sessions. And the sexuality and pleasure is interwoven in the whole life experience, and not only the pleasure and the sexuality changes, but different life situations change as well when you improve your pleasure capacity or your orgasms or whatever. And I also do have an online course which will open again in spring. Again, my main offer is one-on-one coaching, and that's my absolute favorite thing to
do. Beautiful, thank you. And you can also find Maria's website in the comment section below of this either podcast or video, depending on how you're watching. So thank you so much, Maria, for this beautiful interview and for all the work that you're doing. And I wish you all the luck and to infuse as many women as possible with their connection to their pleasure.
Thank you so much, Samra, and thank you for those beautiful questions you had in there. You are an inspiration for me as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay, so bye everyone.
Bye.
Till our next interview.